And welcome back to the Mushroom Kingdom Media Podcast. It's your host, Dylan. We got stuff to talk about this week, from a new Nintendo hardware to new Nintendo games and to level discussions. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to start off with the new Nintendo hardware we received this week. I saw it via the Instagram. We got a Nintendo alarm clock. Nintendo labeled this alarm clock Alarmo. And I think it's pretty cool. It looks cool. It's just a simple red little spear thing. Kind of looks like the way back from Mr. Peabody and Sherman, honestly. But what it's supposed to do is, play Nintendo sounds. You can set it to whatever you want. I think it's probably just got presets on there. I think they have Breath of the Wild, they got Mario Odyssey, they have Splatoon. But what it's supposed to do is kind of react to your movements and it'd be coins from Super Mario Odyssey. And then I forget what it would be for Zelda, but for Splatoon, it'd be the shots from their weapons. But yeah, the concept's cool. I like it. It's cool to wake up to your favorite game, start your day off right. But see, the hindering issue here, at least with this, is that, it's $100! It's $100. Why? I get it. And it's, motion sensor, if that's what it's doing, or if it's just, I don't know, all that, and then the licensing. But it's first party, but at the same time, it, I if I got it as a Christmas gift, that'd be cool. But $100, I'm unfortunately not gonna get that, because what's free? Downloading a song or a sound from your favorite game, and making it your alarm on your phone when you wake up. It's 100 times easier and infinitely cheaper. Like I said, I like the concept, right? I like the concept. It's cool. It's cool. Don't get me wrong, but for the price point, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I think it's cool. It's something people will buy it. Obviously, it's not like it's not going to be bought, but at the same time, 80 would have been a little better. 100 just seems overkill, but oh well. It's cool. It's cool, and I'll leave it at that. If I had it, I wouldn't complain, but I'm not going to be purchasing it. But it's a good thing to share. All right. Nextly on our list and of our discussions, Mario Party Jamboree Week. Oh yeah, we had Echoes of Wisdom come out a couple weeks before, and now here we are. Mario Party Jamboree comes out, and it comes out on October 17th, which is a Thursday, just like Echoes of Wisdom was, and also will be what Brothership is. Brothership is also on a Thursday. I believe it's the 21st of November. So, friends, I said this before, and I will say it again. This is going to be the best Mario Party of all time. I honestly, from what I've seen from gameplay and from other people on Instagram and YouTube and everything that I've seen, this should live up to the hype this should live up to the Switch Mario Party that we've wanted since the Switch came out. We got in Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars. Super Mario Party is a very stinky game. But then we have Mario Party Superstars, which is Cool, great, whatever. Bring back our other stuff, our old games, a little nostalgia. But we want new stuff. We want new games that follow um the old process. And switch up a little things here and there to make it unique. And that's exactly what Jamboree does for us. New maps and new characters. This is the biggest roster we ever seen. I think it's almost the most maps we've seen. And two, we've accompanied the people who will say nostalgia. There's 2 old maps from there's Mario's Rainbow Ride from Mario Party, and then there's Westernland from Mario Party 2. There's those boards. And then there's the mini games that are from the older Mario parties. So I don't think there should be a single person that could be mad at this. I mean, unless there's some hindering gameplay that you go and play. I heard one of my friends say, like, the buddy system's back, but it's a little more balanced where you can only use them for like 3 turns if you win a mini game or something like that. Which, all right, that seems like they fixed that, but it still keeps the same, like the Super Mario Party thing. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to play. I think me and my friends are gonna play it next week on Friday. So I'll probably, we'll see what happens on Friday. But, yeah, I'm excited. I may even get it myself if, I figure with my friends that we'd play it a little bit, by ourselves together. I'm excited to play it. Yeah. Not really much more to blabble about. There wasn't really anything more new that dropped from it. I think they said they added Pauline and maybe one other person, I forget, but people did ask if Pauline was going to be in the game, and Nintendo did put her into the game. So, yeah, I mean, the roster's great. The game looks great, runs great. The camera's awesome. The mini games are awesome. Board looks awesome. So yeah, I think the only not so good thing I heard was that the economy, like the coins to buy stuff, it's still 20 coins a star, but it kind of seems like you get a little more coins and mini games and stuff, so it's a little coin inflated, but it shouldn't be too bad. The next thing on our list of discussions, look, all right. Right now we're in the month of October in the year 2024. All right. We have a lot of games coming out. There's been a lot of games. Since September, there's been a lot of games that have been coming out, and, I like video games. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you like video games, and, usually I'd, would prefer to play video games, right? So here's the thing. I know a friend that, he's a big Dragon Ball guy. And he has been waiting for Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. He's been waiting for it. He loves Dragon Ball. Grew up with it. He had shirts of it as a kid. This, that, posters on the wall. Like, I swear to God, like the biggest Dragon Ball fanatic that you could ever meet. But he's saying how good the game is and how he likes it. But then I was looking into it, and I looked and I was searching it up. Yeah, it's not out on Switch at all. I mean, I know that's not too out of the water for games these days, but what got me thinking is, like, Dragon Ball's not on a Nintendo console? That just seemed weird to me. I think usually they like bog it down so you could play it, but at the same time, why would I want to bog, right? Basically what this boils down to is that it is time for the Switch 2, or whatever they will call it, because it's hard out here for Nintendo guys, and I mean, I've seen people that had have a Steam Deck and a PlayStation Portable and all that stuff. I mean, and they said, and it's you can play the game on there. But it's just not the same almost. And if Nintendo's whole thing is to be portable, like how come like you're not I think what Nintendo needs to understand now is back in the years in 2006 when the Nintendo Wii released, right? That was the biggest renovation of the entire gaming history. That was the biggest renovation that we have ever seen up until that point. Because it just completely switched the view on how we looked at video games, right? The controller didn't, look like a controller. It, looked weird. You pointed it at your screen and, it was weird for a lot of people who play games. But it was good because it was renovative. It was innovative, rather. Innovation, that's what Nintendo's been about. And that's what I said too when I was talking to my friends about the new console. What could they possibly have done now that would be innovative? Because that's what Nintendo has been. Ever since the Wii, Nintendo has been innovative. And I like that in a company, right? You don't have to go head to head with Microsoft and Sony, right? And instead, you go ahead and you innovate and you adapt and you change. You take a risk and you hope for the reward. And in which Nintendo did that. And I respect Nintendo for that. And obviously, anyone in any situation, given that circumstance and what they did, should have respect for that happening. Respect for taking a risk and having it work. That takes a big leap of faith from not only the people at Nintendo, but just in gaming as a whole. So then what it comes down to is now the Nintendo Switch has been the longest running console without being replaced since the NES to the SNES back in the 1990s. So it begs the question, if it's taken this long to be innovative, what could they have possibly done? Right? It had to have been something grand and huge and large, but it hasn't been, because we've seen leaks and we've seen like submodels, again, I guess leaked, but at the same time, right, now we're looking at, are we going to go back to being competitors with Xbox and PlayStation, Microsoft and Sony? Because I have a hard time believing that it's taken 7 years to be done something innovative. And then the entire time too is like, I think Nintendo has wrapped their identity around this whole portable thing. This whole, you can play on your big screen and you can take it wherever you want. I think that's where Nintendo has wrapped its identity around in the past 7 years. So if we're going to be innovative with the Switch, and all you're going to give us is magnetic Joy-Cons, right? It's kind of griping, but I don't know, man. I mean, I hope the Switch 2 is good. B, I hope the Switch 2 comes soon, because it's time. I mean, I've only owned my own Switch for, I believe it'd be a year and a half now, somewhere around that mark, 2 years. So I haven't had it the entire life cycle. But I bought the OLED, best you could get Switch. I mean, I love the screen on it. It's nice, but when I plug it in, it's like only 1080? Really? 1080? I mean, you would think that they would have upgraded it. Like, you've seen Xbox done this. Xbox did this not too long ago. They had the Series S, and then people were complaining that it was only 512 megabytes. And then what did they do? They made a different version, changed the color, slapped in a terabyte, and look at the sales. The sales are pretty good. People who don't have an Xbox and they don't want to buy the X, well, look at that. Now you have your terabyte still. I mean, I don't know, man. I think it's time for a new console. I mean, I think it's time. I think what I truly think is that the whole renovation deal. I mean, I get it. You have to respect Nintendo for doing that, like I said. But I think now we don't have to be innovative anymore. At least for this generation, this next generation of Nintendo console, we don't need to be innovative. We need to compete. Nintendo needs to compete. Nintendo needs to, with this new age of their consoles, Nintendo needs to be a competitor. This console needs to run at 4K 120 is what I truly think. I truly think 4K at the minimum. 4K minimum. If it's 4K 60, I get it. If it's 1440, 120 then, all right. But preferably 4K 120. But that's not what Nintendo games are. I get that. But when you take the other games and have ports, and there's a game that's on PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo Switch, why? When people say that, you take the Switch and you throw it out the window because no one wants to play the game on Switch if it's on Xbox and PlayStation because 99 times out of 100, it's not going to play good on the Nintendo Switch. So we need to throw the innovation out of the window, at least for this console. For this generation's console, take the innovation and throw it out the window. And Nintendo needs to be a competitor. That's all I'm saying. They need to run the 4K 120, and they need ports of the games, of Xbox games, PlayStation games. Get as many ports as you can. Get as many customers that want to come to the Switch. Bring them to the Switch. Because you know how cool it would be if I could take my Xbox and I could go and play it on break at work. You know how cool that'd be. You know how cool that'd be if I can go wherever I want and play the games that are on my Xbox portably. That's cool. And that's where Nintendo came from. That's where the Switch came from. I can play my Switch games, and I can play them at home on my cool monitor that I have. That's $800. And then I can take it and go play it somewhere else. That's cool. So let's take the innovation we have and then improve upon our lack of performance. And then boom, boom. That's probably the best console you can probably have. Take it wherever you want. You can play it on your big screen, detach. You can buy a Pro controller, good controller. The Pro controllers are good. It's like the Switch would be so good if it was just performed better hardware. That's all it is. So, I mean, yeah, it's a little ranty and it's a little touchy, but you know, I just really want to see Nintendo just do this perfectly. I really do, because I love Nintendo. Nintendo's been a part of my life for the entire time I've been alive. So I just want to see them do good. I want to see them do good. I want to see them, I don't know. I want to see them do good. And that's what I think. That's all I got for this week. Like I said, finally got stuff to talk about. So we got a pretty good one here. Hey, if you made it to the end, thank you for listening all the way through. Be sure to like the video. Leave a comment. Right now, I'm still on YouTube. Once I get it rolling a bit, if people start watching a little more, I'll start throwing it out on Spotify and Apple Music and Pandora, or I guess Apple Podcasts. Once we get it rolling a little bit. Otherwise, straight right here on YouTube. That'll work. And yeah, follow the Instagram, Mushroom Kingdom Media. Start trying to get a little more active there. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.